What significance does this award have for your career? It's very difficult trying to explain with words the feelings I have right now. I am in Dresden conducting the Philharmonic Orchestra, and next Saturday I have a complicated program, and all of a sudden I get a phone call by pure chance in one of the breaks in the rehearsals, and they tell me that I have been awarded this prize that is so important. For me, at this time, it means something really special for my career because of its significance. But I don't want to see it as the end of a stage, but as one more prize. Surely the most important one I have received in all my life. And it forces me, it stimulates me to continue working so as to give my best to Spanish society by what I understand as the musical culture of our times. There are so many thoughts going through my mind, but perhaps the most important is my thankfulness to the jury that has chosen me, and my gratitude to the BBVA Foundation for including contemporary music as one of the prizes in the Frontiers of Knowledge Awards. This recognition that contemporary music has received, a genre that is so often belittled and many times ill-treated, that now, with this award, I have received a strong impulse, and I feel I have the responsibility to take it forward. What significance does this award have for classical music? To have put contemporary music at the same level as the other Frontiers of Knowledge Awards is of great importance and significance to us all. And I think that from here onwards, a new assessment can be made of this important work that many Spanish composers and other composers worldwide are carrying out. Music, many times, has been relegated to the second line. It has been considered, especially in Spain, a second category. Maybe at times some of its aspects have been recognized, but not as a whole, and this award, included amongst the others, has been of great support. At the moment, I have various projects in mind. The most immediate one, next Saturday, here in Dresden, conducting an orchestra of such importance as is the Philharmonic of this city. Afterwards, I plan to continue what I have started, an opera which I began to write, and that is taking a definite form. That will occupy me for at least 2 years. And then there'll always be concerts with different orchestras, with the Vienna Orchestra, with the Santiago de Compostela Orchestra, which is always fun to conduct an orchestra in Spain. And there are always conferences, articles, and other things. My project is to live and be conscious that I am living and just enjoying everything as much as possible, surrounded by my family, my wife, my sons and grandsons, my brothers, being able to live as intensely as possible, that life I have been given and to a certain extent I have chosen to live. What plans do you have for the future? For the future, well, next month I'll be 80. The future is a bit uncertain, and even more so at my age. I don't believe that I'm 80. I think my ID card is wrong, because I still have the same hopes and even the same energy that I had when I first started out in the world of music, when I was 13 or 14, at the beginning of youth. I tend to plan things on a long-term basis, because I think it is the only way of beating time, by working, looking forward, doing things, serving others via this sensitive means of communication that is music. Are you happy the way your music is treated at an international level? Before, I said that music had been belittled a bit in Spanish culture. It's not the case in European culture, but it is so in Spain, because there are many people in our country that don't have access to a musical culture. We are lacking a greater infrastructure, although I have to say that in the last 30 years, a gigantic leap forward has been taken in Spain with regards to society and its contact with music. But we need to make people aware that there is a large group of Spanish composers of all age groups that are recognized at a worldwide level, that there is a very important group of conductors, musicians, pianists that are present at a very high level in Europe's musical culture. And many times in our country, it's not that we want to ignore it, but it doesn't come out into the open with the force it should have. I don't know whose fault that is, but I'm convinced that our musical culture is at the same level as any other European country. How would you rate the contemporary music currently made in Spain? I have to insist that contemporary music that is made in Spain is of a very high quality. There are various world-famous composers and another bigger group that is recognized in and out of Spain. I'd like to clarify something, because there is a concept that is often mixed up. Often contemporary music is classed as an aesthetic form of thinking. Contemporary music is that music which our contemporaries make. I am, of course, referring to classical or academic music, music of a certain category that goes beyond popular hits. 3 generations are now living in Spain, and each one of those generations does that music differently, and at the same time, each composer makes his music independently of the others. For me, those groups are of great value.